All right, everybody, just going to take a quick look here at our Canvas site for the summer, where you can find some important information, where you can find some important assignments, just so you know maybe where you need to look. Obviously, this is what our site looks like. Hopefully, if you've taken a look at it at this point, obviously, announcements are really important site. Couple announcements, some information about obviously the course for the summer. Hopefully you've seen. Probably the next most important spot there is the module section, and the module section is basically broken up into two parts. Up on top here, as you can see, lecture materials under here. So everything involving lecture will be found here, underneath here. So we got the syllabus here, the course syllabus, some helpful links. This is all your Cengage registration, student dashboard areas that you might want to look at. This is a module, just some quick videos on different type of topics we're going to cover this semester that just kind of hopefully gets to the point of those topics to sort of help out with information you're learning. As we come here, each of the modules are basically broken up by week. So we have week one. If you click here, for example, it will tell you what in the book and lecture material we're going through. So you'll know sort of what we're covering that week and where you should sort of be reading. If you come back to it here, you'll also find the lecture notes. So these are lecture notes that will follow the lectures that we will do in class. You want to kind of print them out and use them, you can. If you want to take good old-fashioned notes, you can do that as well. For the most part, it pretty much has everything on those slides, except for some examples or anything else that sort of comes to my head as we're lecturing. Here, you'll also find the individual homework links after you register for OWL. OWL is the online homework, sort of the textbook homework. And you can find individual links in these weekly modules that will take you directly to those sites. So, for example, if you clicked on here, homework 2, it will pop up something like this here. Chapter 2 is ready for you. And you could click start assignment, and it should take you there to the assignment. And it will allow you, obviously, to answer those types of questions. If we come back here, there's some review information on some of the topics. These are typically more information, maybe a few problems to work out. Nothing turned in. Usually answers are associated with it, and sort of those quick videos from above that sort of go with the topics from sort of this week. And again, here's week 2 lecture. Again, what you're going to be reading out of the book. Lecture notes for each of those. Again, individual homework assignments. And again, week 3 and week 4, week 5, and never too soon to start looking, week 6, week 7, and the final week here, which is week 8. Now, after the week 8 lecture material, you'll come to another topic here, our header. And this is basically all about labs. So everything here will be under our lab header, and it gives some information about the different parts of lab that you need to do, the different sort of assignments. And there are a couple assignments for each experiment that you need to do. So kind of read through this. It'll kind of give you that idea. You do need a printed version of the labs on paper when you come for lab days. No electronic versions or anything like that. Probably the best way to get that is honestly just go buy the pre-printed lab manual from the bookstore. I think it's only $10 or so. Much better than you trying to print it yourself. If by some chance something happens and you need the manual itself, it is here up on Canvas. But once again, buying the pre-printed one is probably the way to go. You don't have to print it yourself. You don't have to pay for the ink, the paper, all that kind of stuff. Remember to actually print it. So I would probably recommend go buy the pre-printed one. The labs are also broken up by week. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and so forth. Once again, you will see, for example, for each experiment, there is a written pre-lab, and this written pre-lab is what you will turn in on Canvas, and it gives you the instructions here in the assignment of what you need to do. But essentially, you need to read the experiment. You need to write up a summary of all the steps and the material that you're going to use. And there will also be some pre-lab questions that you'll need to answer. And you will actually upload it here to this assignment. It does need to be a PDF file. There will be a second pre-lab for an experiment. And let me find it here. And coming back to the same lab module towards the bottom, if I get it to go, there we go. This is what's called Experiment 2 Pre-Lab Online. This is, again, is a Cengage pre-lab. You could click on there. It will link you out to your Cengage experiment. You can, again, start the experiment here or the pre-lab questions on Cengage. You want to make sure you answer all these questions. So just so we're clear, there are two pre-labs for each experiment. One is a Cengage pre-lab that you link out to Cengage and do those pre-lab questions. One is a written pre-lab summary with pre-lab questions that are in the physical lab manual book, where you write the summary, answer the actual pre-lab questions in the experiment from the manual, and upload that. So again, two individual pre-labs for every physical experiment that we do. Every experiment that is listed as an experiment, that is, we'll have two pre-labs. Any experiment that is not listed as an experiment, but is listed as an activity, like this one here, activity 1, activity 9, 10, and 11, there are no pre-labs associated with ones that are listed as activities. Anyone that is listed as an experiment will again have two pre-labs, one Cengage pre-lab, which is called lab skills, and one written summary pre-lab that involves this summary and the pre-lab questions found in the physical lab manual that you'll need to upload to Canvas. And again, you could go through all these and all the way through, and you'll find all the experiments that we're going to be doing. Coming back up here towards the top, this is again, once you have your Cengage Unlimited code, you do want to go through, this is the link for the homework, the textbook type homework, the OWL, and this is the link for the lab skills. You do want to make sure you get yourself into both of those Cengage products, and there is no course code. If you go, you should go through the links here on Canvas, and that will put you in the correct Cengage class. And again, no course code is needed. So you do need to ultimately sort of sign up for using your Cengage Unlimited code, most likely, and link yourself into two separate Cengage sort of courses. One OWL course, which is the textbook homework, and one is the lab skills Cengage sort of course, which takes care of the pre-labs. So basically, two Cengage products, one OWL online homework, textbook homework, one Cengage lab skills pre-lab, and a third that's not a Cengage pre-lab, but a Canvas sort of written pre-lab. Again, the syllabus is up here if you should definitely go through it. Make sure you understand, again, how the course is going to be taught. Other than that, obviously, that is probably most of the areas that we need to worry about. I hope this quick video was helpful for you. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will probably see you very shortly. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.